cast it and make a thing of holy water. We can only do it like, what is it? It's like you can only do so many per day, I think.
Right.
I'd assume that the so many per day would be applicable to however many spell slots I have.
Well, you can ritual cast it, but I think it can only make so many things of holy water.
Okay,
so, like, you can't just do hour after hour.
Right. I think you can make 2 or 3 per casting, and I think you can only cast it once or twice a day.
Oh, no, there's no limit. So you can you can spend an hour to turn 1 vial of water into holy water.
Well, however long you want to spend doing that while we're doing this would be awesome.
But he's here to lift things up and put them down.
That's true. You won't be able to provide any heavy lifting assistance while you're doing that.
That's true.
And as far as I know, I'm the only person in the party with decent, well, by decent, I mean much above average strength.
I have a +1 to strength.
I got +3 with a strength of 16.
Yeah, that's better.
Oh, yeah, yours is better. All right, whatever you want to do. It was just a suggestion, but...
Tell you what I can do. Yixit will help.
I think we should have a couple just in case we come along on a couple of heavy undead.
What I was going to say is Yixit will help get the... we'll suggest getting the mask reset, because that's really just going to be the heaviest thing, and the only thing I can see Yixit needing to be there for is getting the mask set back in place and all that. So basically, he'll suggest getting that on first, and after that, he can then go and do the ceremony for a while.
Question, Taliesin.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Will this fit all of us?
It will, but it's going to need reinforced.
Excellent. Okay, so let me know when Bracken and I have found them so we can get some information. And
Right. So, you're able to ask for directions to get pointed towards the Bookies Guild pretty easily, and you're able to speak with some representatives inside.
Okay. Yeah, we're wanting to speak with the 7 representatives. Basically, and you can come in on this at any time, Bracken. First thing I'd like to know is, what is it compensation-wise that they're looking at doing? And also, I would like to request the possible use of one of their silk skimmers in order to help us expedite the expedition.
A quick question, just that way I know how many to note down. How many hours after getting the mask set is Yixit going to have before we set off?
We'll say you can do it 5 or 6 times before, well, it would also depend on what time they get back. So you'd have like maybe hour, 2 hours before Anestra and Bracken got back, if they go straight back from talking to the bookies, plus whatever other time you want to take afterwards.
For now, I'll just set the holy water that I've got in my inventory to 2.
All right.
And then if the party takes extra time after everything's set, I'll increase the number.
Okay.
Cool.
Anestra, roll me a persuasion check real quick.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, now roll me.
You look scary to them.
Now roll me a percentile. This is to see if you're able to get the guys that you talked to before.
And set off the sprinklers as you went by, and they're like, "Damn it!"
That's the 3rd time this week.
This place doesn't have water. They put fires out with sand.
Yeah.
That's what makes it worse. It's just like a bunch of sand just dumps out of the ceiling.
Hang on. So I've got friends that I can use.
They're gonna be hostile to you after that minute.
You do have the friends cantrip, don't you?
Is friends at Divine?
A what?
You'll get in trouble for magic if you are.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Well, let's see. What kind of spell is it? Could be on the list. Bard spell.
I know it's bardic.
Yeah, you could pretend to be a bard.
But
Nope.
remember, after
harmonica
that
things
minute,
to
if
wear
you're
around
still
your neck.
talking to them, they're gonna know you did magic on them, and they're gonna be mad.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that they'll pick up on it. So okay, roll me a percentile in Estra, which is determined by your persuasion check, what you need on it.
I can help him. I can kind of try to look all friendly like.
Yeah, you can roll it for persuasion too. Wow.
Hey!
Okay, now you roll me a percentile.
Wow.
Wow. So one of you rolled badly and did okay on percentiles, but still didn't make it. One of you rolled great and did bad on percentiles and didn't make it. So
Weird.
you're not able
So
to find
broke
the
even.
you're not able to find the exact guys you spoke to last time, but Bracken, you kind of managed to convince them to give you a little bit of detail. They're not as forthcoming with the information, but they will. They'll talk to you a bit about the families, depending on what you're asking.
Okay. Well, I'm not so good at being the voice of the party.
So, what exactly were you asking them, Anestra?
Well, we were trying to get in contact with the Severin family, and we were looking at possibly using one of their
Hang on. Before we divulge all that, why don't I use my little bit of formal training, I suppose. As you know, I am nobility. Am I? Wait. Yeah, I took the noble background.
You're a Ladrin, even if you're not, you think you are.
You're not wrong.
This is true. But
They're like the most pompous of elves. It's great. I love them.
But I'm a ambassador to.
I think wood elves as hillbillies.
Exactly. So could you put us in touch with one of the, what is it, Severin? Whatever.
Yes, Severin, I believe
Severin,
it was.
Yeah.
One of the Severin ambassadors. We've got some things that they may be interested in.
Whoa, you okay there, Joe?
Yep, sir.
They point you towards somebody you can speak to as representative of the Severin family.
Okay.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ring, ring.
On the road again.
Severin.
I'm gonna make sure that when we meet them, that my flames are slightly more than normal, but not quite as refined as normal. I'm not gonna let them be as subdued. So I want to make sure that we're making an impression on them.
Oh God.
Question: what fire genasi? What's their alignment usually?
I'm sorry.
Fire genasi. What's their alignment usually?
Chaotic neutral.
Oh, that's cool. I could use ceremony to marry people. Hey, Taliesin, if you want to get Izzy real quick.
What?
I like chaos.
Ceremony spell.
But I try to be.
Don't be calling my bluffs, man. Come on.
I'm just gonna glare at both of them.
So anyway,
Boros and Taliesin can get married.
Since he's trying to make an impression, I'll make sure I have my signet ring on and whatnot, and look all
fanciful.
Formal and yeah, sure, fanciful. So
We'll do, I'd like make sure that, do a formal introduction, when we meet them so that we're actually doing a proper introduction with them. And then I'm going to ask them for some information about what it is they're looking for and see what information they'll give us towards getting it. I will tell them that, we do know that there are other families looking for it, and then go from there.
Okay, give me just 1 second. I'm just determining some extra stuff.
Not a problem.
We're all gonna die.
Not yet. I'm just rolling to see what happens if you ever do wind up in a situation where you're probably gonna die. Which is probably gonna happen.
What?
Oh. Okay. Make a no to this.
Great.
Okay, now we can't be a kid show when you're saying smoke stuff like opium. All right, it's just not
Fine.
happening.
Gone, remember?
Pipe wasn't my idea though.
Gone.
Let's say that.
Gun. Palaces.
He's choosing to make it
Gone.
hallucinogenics and stuff.
That's true. That's true. He could blow bubbles with it.
It's a bubble pipe?
Yes.
Can I have an alchemical device that it blows different flavors of bubbles?
I will put.
So it's kind of
I
like
will put some
vaping, but
bubbles
even
in
more
the
obnoxious somehow.
picture.
Right.
I will put some bubbles in the picture.
So you're
That would be
speaking to
kinda
the Severin
badass.
representative, and
How may I direct your call?
you're asking about the
Attention,
job itself.
social brief,
You want to know what the item is, and you want to know what they'd be willing to offer in terms of protection, right? Sums it up.
Yes, that we have someone who works for one of the other houses. No, I don't want to divulge that.
A little late.
It's
Whoa,
cool.
what?
Figure out what exactly you want to say, and then tell me that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's not exactly true anyway. You
Yeah.
wouldn't know that, but.
While discussing with getting in contact with them, we know that there's multiple houses that are looking for the item. We've chose to speak with them because we feel that there might be some better information and better cooperation between the two of us. But we would like a little more information about the item or what knowledge they have of the item that we're going to be getting. And we would like a little more help with getting back and forth. So we're seeing what the give and take is for it. So payment for retrieving the item, what the item may be, those type of things.
Okay.
In order to help us prepare to get the item for the chance that's to be hired.
Also, we would like to know if they currently have another team looking for said item.
Correct.
Okay. So, yes, dental and vision. They're forthcoming with 3 parts of that information. They tell you, one, regarding the involvement of the other houses, that if someone were to do something to put, speaking hypothetically, if somebody were to do something to put them in favor with one of the houses, while they couldn't really do anything openly due to the nature of all the houses having play in the politics of the town, they would do what they could in the background to keep somebody safe from other house involvement. They won't have like armed guards stationed outside your house, not wearing their colors at least, but they might have like a bodyguard who they recommended once who could maybe keep somebody from trying to knock your head in at night.
So,
Okay.
Or-
so what's the how good is that guarantee?
The guarantee is that barring a full out this house wants you dead and gone kind of involvement, they would have your back.
Good
At
enough.
least as long as you were useful to them.
That's a given.
The second part they're forthcoming with is that for transportation wise, they would give you a means of getting to the location they need you to get to, though the rest of it would be up to you. I'll check it in a second, Koros.
Thank you.
They would loan you a skimmer to get over there.
What kind of skimmer?
Uh,
A, B, or D class?
a pretty sturdy one that would be at least guaranteed to make it a distance like that. It's not a racer, it's not going to go super fast, but it's pretty sturdily built, and it's not going to just tip over when you're halfway out there,
Okay.
That's half the fun, though.
right? Well,
Except for
It's not
dying
gonna-
in silt.
it's not going to tip over unless you're horrible at piloting a skimmer. Third piece they're kind of forthcoming with is that they say that the way they gained knowledge of the place itself was that Quid had sent out a group of people to examine some different. Expand this story. So the desert areas around Drydock are what remains of villages, towns, and cities from Faerun on the Sword Coast, around the area of Waterdeep. And after a whole cataclysm happened, it got covered in desert and silt and stuff like that. Occasionally, wind will blow or water will run through and something like that, and it'll move parts of the desert and expose towns and cities and villages and stuff like that. So people constantly go out there and try to scavenge from it. You have to describe it as one day you can go into a building that you found on Earth, find some nice stuff, fall asleep, and the next morning you'll wake up buried beneath like 20 feet of sand.